Hi guys, welcome to this session, this last live session that I want to do for you. And I just did it in Dutch, so now I'm going to do it in English for those of you who are not proficient in the Dutch language. And I find myself to be emotional at the moment, so I cannot promise that this video will not be without tears. But I've learned some really valuable steps, some really valuable lessons, and I really felt like I've grown a lot in this past 2 weeks. And I wanted to share these insights and these lessons with you guys because I think it is important to share this to maybe you have encountered the same things and you can benefit from me telling this story. And I feel like I'm rambling right now. It's because even though I did it in Dutch just now, I still don't really know how to start, and I feel emotionally vulnerable, and it's very scary to do this on live video, which is exactly why I'm doing it on live video, because if I did it in a pre-recorded session, my perfectionistic control freaky self would have edited out all these tears. And I think it is important that I be as open and honest and transparent as I can be. So I think it might be best to just start at the beginning. And the beginning is that it's my why behind why I started this company, why I started this online program, why I developed it. And it's my deepest desire to help as many highly sensitive people overcome the struggles that I myself had in my life and that I see so many of you struggle with. And I want to share my lessons. I want to share my knowledge. I want to share the tools that I've gathered, the tools that I've developed myself that have enabled me to have a completely different life than the one that I had a couple of years ago. And I am a completely different person than the one I was a couple of years ago. And I am so much more in balance now, so much happier. And that is my deepest desire to give you. And because I felt like what I have to teach and the message that I want to spread is bigger than just the Dutch people. That is the reason why I decided to also start doing a lot of things in English. And because last year I almost ended up in a burnout, I decided to focus solely on English for a while, because it takes so much energy and so much time to do everything in both languages. And I I was struggling to stay afloat, to keep my head above water, and it was too much to do it in two languages. So I decided to just do it in English, because most of us Dutch persons, people, we have a really good proficiency in English, and I was able to reach more people in this manner. And that is why I am doing it in both languages. And what I found also was that there is a limit to what you can or who you can work with when you are only doing one-on-one, because there are 8 hours in a day usually that you work with people. So that means a maximum of 8 people you can work with in a day. And I wanted to reach even more people. I am ambitious. I have a vision. I have a big dream, and I want to spread my message across millions worldwide. And that was how the idea for my online program was born. And in it, I put I put my soul and my heart and everything I am and everything I have. I poured it into the online program, and I'm incredibly proud of the end result. I came up with um, the main lines of the program without having the details, and I decided to find out if there was a market for it. So I went out and I wanted to find testers that would help me test the program while I was still writing it and producing it. And I found 8, and I was so incredibly uh, pleasantly surprised and proud that 8 people connected with what I was putting out there, and 8 people wanted to help me write this program, test this program, market this program, and make it really awesome and really wonderful. Because for everything I do, I need you guys. I need your input. I need your feedback. I am also still learning. I'm also still growing. I am also a highly sensitive person, just like you, and it's a continuous learning process. And I started with the 8 people, and it took so much out of me, because each month I needed to produce the next month of the programs on the next module, because if I didn't, then my testers didn't have anything to test anymore. So it was both a really good uh, pressure on me to actually complete the program, to finish it in time, to write it in a year. But I also had my practice and the people that I saw and all the other activities that I was doing. So it was asking a lot of my energy and a lot of my heart and my soul. But I did it gladly. And like I said, I'm so incredibly proud of the results. And that is also the feedback that I got from the people that are already in it. And maybe you've seen the stories that 2 of my clients have told on video. If not, then I hope you will, because it's just wonderful to see the transformation in them and the results that they are getting from the program. And it makes me even prouder than I already was, but mostly on them, for their accomplishments, for their achievements, and not just me, because I aim to serve, I aim to help, and that's what most of us HSPs have. We want to help other people, and I am no different in that than you are. Um, so that's how I wrote and built the online program, and then after a year, it was done, and it was a yay, hallelujah moment. And then came the really challenging part in, okay, but and now what? So you want to market it, you want to sell it, and that means that meant I thought that I had to launch it, but I had never launched anything before, so I didn't know how to launch something. And I have never done webinars, I'd never done boot camps, I'd never done masterclasses. So I was completely inexperienced in all these areas. And I used to be someone who didn't even want her picture taken because I was ashamed of myself, I think. Or I felt like I was not good enough. And I first overcame that fear by starting to do smaller videos, which was already way out of my comfort zone. And now then this launch, and I learned some really, really valuable lessons during this launch that I want to share with you today. And they were brought about a survey reaction that I got today, which I will talk about in a minute. And I learned that I went about launching this product in the way that I usually do things. And that is, I have an end goal, and that is to launch this product. So I need to come up with an action plan to reach that end goal. And what do I need to come up with an action plan? I need information. I need knowledge about how to launch. So I registered for a bootcamp from Lenka Dutonska, who taught people how to successfully launch their product. And I bought a book from Jeff Walker, and that's the product launch formula. And I read the book cover to cover, and I did the bootcamp with Lenka, and I took all that information to me, and then I distilled it into something that I thought would work really well for me. And luckily, my feelings intervened, and even though I had thought out a different concept, I felt like I needed to do something else. I felt like I needed to make a personal connection with you guys, and I changed the layout last minute. But the way my email automation was set up, and the things that I used for the setup of the masterclasses itself, they came from the things that I had learned from Lenka and from Jeff. And I thought they were giving me like a grip on how to handle things, and I thought they were giving me a sense of control, and I honestly thought that they would lead me to great success, because everything I did by creating from my soul and from a deep connection with my mission, and I wrote the program effortlessly, even though it was a lot of work. It just seemed to flow out of me without effort, just flowing. And the same was with the sales page for the VIP experience, but also the online programs. It just came out without having to do a lot of challenging things. It just came out, and it felt aligned, and it felt wonderful. And I thought, if I just know how to launch, then you guys will connect with it, and it will be such a great success. And I sent out the emails, first with a survey about what should be in the program, and it turned out that energy management was the #1 problem. So I decided to launch my VIP section with an energy bootcamp, and I wanted to make sure that it was perfect. You know, my inner perfectionist, and I also have the HSP people pleaser part down, and I wanted to make it wonderful for you guys, and I wanted to make it a real learning experience. I didn't want it to be another boot camp that you felt like you wasted your time and you didn't learn anything, and I wanted to give you so much. But there were also fears, like, am I not giving away too much? And if I give everything away for free, then what reason do they have to enter the program? So there was an inner struggle, and it's so amazing. Now, amazing is not the right word. It's so much is happening internally when you do stuff like this, when you get out of your comfort zone. And the first day, the first masterclass, the first time I had to show up, I was so incredibly nervous. I was almost choked up with anxious fears, and I was afraid of failing. I was afraid of not being good enough. I was afraid of not providing enough value. I was afraid of so many things. And then it was time to go live, and only 5 of you were there for the live version, and 60 of you registered for the Energy Bootcamp. 25 of you actually made it to the Facebook group. So 35 of you didn't even come to the Facebook group. And at first I thought, well, you can also join through Zoom, so you don't have to have a Facebook account, and lots of people will show up, and that's what I want, because I want to help as many people as possible. And to then just have 5 people, it was really disappointing, to be really honest. And it is really hard to not let that show in your first session, because I was so grateful for those who did show up, and I still am. So if you are among those people that showed up, my gratitude is eternal. And I didn't want to just send and send and send and send. I wanted to have a dialogue with the people that were there. But if so little people are there, then it's really hard to have that dialogue. And especially that first English masterclass, most of the guys that were there were really tired. So the dialogue didn't really start. And I felt like I needed to talk and talk and talk and talk to fill all the emptiness. I thought I couldn't let emptiness fall into the conversation. I felt like I needed to keep the energy high, keep people attentive and focused, and also the people that would see it in a replay. And I really felt like I couldn't fail, and I couldn't. I needed to be my best version. And then I start to babble when I am nervous, when I feel that much pressure, and I know I put that pressure on myself, but then I start to babble, and yeah, that was the first day, 2 masterclasses, and the attendance rate became even lower for the second and the third and the fourth. And I had this really horrible weekend this weekend, where I felt completely drained and emotionally raw, that I still do. And I was so devastated and disappointed, because you were not picking up what I was putting out there. And I started to doubt myself, thinking, what had I done wrong? What could I've done better or different? And I just couldn't see it until today, Saturday. I sent out an email asking for you guys to complete a survey about how you had experienced it and what went right and what went could have gone better. Those types of questions, and only one of you filled it out this morning, and I don't know who you are, but I thank you from the bottom of your heart, because your response to my survey, it taught me some really valuable but also really painful lessons, but I wouldn't have wanted to have missed them. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to grow and to learn. I found out that I didn't align myself with my intuition, and it's actually funny because that's what I'm teaching for marketing and sales, because I've learned this lesson already for marketing and sales, and still I stepped into the pitfall for launching, and I did it by intellect and by using the tricks that other people had taught me instead of following my guidance, my higher self, my soul, or whatever you want to call it. I tried to force a successful launch based on what other people told me would be the formula for a successful launch. And what she wrote in her response to my survey was that she found the exercises to be helpful, but that I was really, really busy, really all over the place, and that both my emails and my website were very American, and that combination came across for her as being not authentic. And it hurt to read those words. It hurt my ego, because I thought I was being very authentic. I was speaking from the heart. I put my whole heart and my whole soul into that bootcamp, into that online program, into all the materials, and then to have that feedback. In the beginning, it hurt. But luckily, my soul also saw the value of what you wrote for me and the lessons that I could take from it, because what I learned is that I need to follow my heart and my soul also in learning, in launching, and not do the tricks that other people teach you. And it's exactly what I am teaching you guys about marketing and sales, how to do it from the heart, in an authentic way, in a way that suits you. And I didn't do that well enough. I did do it a little bit, which is an incredible improvement for other things that I've tried to do in my life, but based also on the lack of connection with you guys, I didn't do it enough. And for that, I apologize. I tried to do my best, and I tried to give my everything, and I lost track of a lesson that I've learned already a couple of times, but apparently I needed to learn again, and that is to live your mission, to live your life, to connect to your truth, and to keep connected to that part, and to create in flow, effortlessly, letting yourself be guided by your higher self and your intuition, and not teachings of others. And I'm proud of myself for doing this, for showing up, for doing all these master classes. I had never done anything like this before, and it was scary as hell. And I looked fear in the eye, and I did it anyway, which is also one of the lessons that I teach in my online program. And that part I did really well. But other parts I could have done differently, and that's the valuable lesson I learned through this response from you. And again, thank you for helping me learn that lesson, for giving me these insights, and realizing that my perfectionist hindered me, my people pleaser hindered me. And instead of unleashing my awesome and just connecting to my heart, and letting things just evolve naturally, I tried to do it with a step-by-step action plan that didn't get me the results that I hoped and dreamed about. And I do hope that you will enter with me in the VIP program, because as much as I want to teach you how to love yourself unconditionally, how to unleash your awesome, how to look fear in the eye and do things anyway, how to really connect with your inner being, to be your true self, to create the life that you really want, that really fits you really well. I also want to learn from you, because I can only learn and I can only grow as an entrepreneur if you guys are there, if you guys are there to give me that valuable feedback, if you guys are there to spar with. And I learn as much from you as that you will learn from me. And that is the adventure that I want to start this next year. I want to start this adventure with a group of soul-aligned clients that also want to learn from each other, that want to grow as a person, that want to grow as an entrepreneur, and that want to show up in their lives and take control and finally do things their way. And I hope I can welcome you to that experience, to start this journey together and to learn from each other. That really is my deepest sincere wish, to start with a group of like-minded, soul-aligned HSPs and HSEs, highly sensitive entrepreneurs, highly sensitive people, to embark on this mission, because right now it's the time, with the new moon and the full moon of November, and also the 11/11, the Ascension Day. It is now time to shed all our old weight, all our old baggage, to let go of the things that no longer serve us, that have no part of our, or should not have a part in our lives anymore, and to really go for what it is, for what we want, and to align ourselves with what is in store for us, to welcome that in our lives. And I want to embark upon that journey with you. And I really hope that you will want to embark on that journey with me as well. And like I said, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if within 30 days, you find that it is not resonating with you, then you will get all your money back. And there's that guarantee. And so I'm hoping that you will give it a chance, that you will start on this wonderful journey with me, and that we can grow together as people, and that we may learn from each other. Because that is my deepest desire, and that is also what I feel that I am brought here on earth to do, to be part of these transformations. And it's what makes me the happiest I've been in my entire life. So this is what I wanted to share with you, the pain, the insights, the lessons, and my question to you is, will you join me in growing like this, in experiencing these things, in order to get where it is that you want to be as well? And I really hope that you will do that. For those of you who have listened to this entire video, thank you for allowing me to speak and for listening to my words. And for all of you, thank you just for being who you are, for being the wonderful person that you are, and for showing up. And just thank you for everything.